Hi, welcome to our electromagnetic theory course. In last lecture, we derived electric field. Of course, I derived electric field boundary conditions. Now we will derive boundary conditions for magnetic field. 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 Okay. So in the previous case, we consider, I will write, to derive electric field boundary conditions, we need to use two equations, that is integral E dot dl equal to 0, this is equation 1, and another equation is what? Integral D dot ds equal to 0. Okay, here this is electric field intensity, this is electric flux density. For the electric field, we consider electric field intensity, electric flux density. But in case of the magnetic field, in order to derive the magnetic field boundary conditions, instead of taking these two equations means this electric field intensity is replaced by magnetic field intensity. It is equal to I enclosed from Ampere's circuit law. And the second equation, that is integral D dot ds. Here D is what? Electric flux density. That should be replaced with what? Electric flux density should be replaced with what? Magnetic flux density, that is integral B dot ds equal to 0. That is equation 2. In order to derive magnetic field boundary conditions, we need to use these equations. First one is integral H dot dl equal to I enclosed, and another one is what? Integral B dot ds equal to 0. That is equation 2. And we need to decompose the field component as two orthogonal components, H as Ht equal to H equal to Ht plus Hn and B equal to Bt plus Bn. Means your H is this one and it is decomposed into, this is H, this is decomposed into normal component, that is Hn, and tangential component, that is Ht. It is our H. Okay, one is along the boundary, that is tangential component along the boundary, whereas normal component is normal to the boundary. Tangential means tangential to the boundary, that is horizontal, and normal means normal to this one, that is vertical. Okay, so we need to use these equations. Next, from third equation to, we need to jump here. Okay, we have tangential boundary conditions and normal boundary conditions. This part we will see later, this part and this part. Okay, move for below this dotted lines. Tangential boundary conditions for dielectric. So that is tangential magnetic field boundary conditions, that is H field, means magnetic field boundary conditions for the dielectric. We need to replace this E1 with what? As it is magnetic field, E1 should be replaced with H1 and epsilon 1 should be replaced with mu1, and this one H1 is nothing but what? For the H1 it is H1n, and it is what? This tangential component is nothing but H1t. It is the tangential to the boundary. And here E2 should be replaced with what? E2 should be replaced with what? H2, and E2n should be replaced with what? H2n, and next E2t should be replaced with H2t, that is tangential component of H2. Okay, and of course this E2 is replaced with what? Mu2. That means what? First medium is characterized by H1, first medium is characterized by mu1, in this H1 is existed, and second medium is characterized by mu2, in this H2 is existed. Now let us apply equation 1 for this closed path, that is closed path is A, B, C, D, A. Basically this one is existed here. For the visibility purpose, we need to draw like this. Okay, apply equation 1. What is equation 1? That is integral H dot dl equal to I enclosed to the closed path A, B, C, D, A as shown in above figure. So we need to take equation 1. What is equation 1 in this case? For the previous case it is E dot dl. Now it is H dot dl equal to what? I enclosed. I enclosed. We need to replace E with H. So this is H, and this is also H dot dl, and this is also H dot dl, but it is what? It is not 0. So it should be replaced with what? I enclosed, or else simply I. Okay, A to B. Now here this tangential component is what? H1t. Simply we need to replace E with H. So this is what? H1n, and it is what? H2n, and this is what? Remaining is same, that is H2T, and here H2N, and what about last one, that is H1N. Okay, so this is equally covered in the first and second medium. So last parameter is related to what? From this point to this point. From this point to this point, integral H dot dl means what? What about H? H is uniform in this direction. What about this? It is covered in the first medium. What about the field component? That is H1N. So that's why H1N delta, and year to year length is what? So from this point to this point, we can take this as delta H by 2. Delta H by 2. We can take this distance like this. That is delta H by 2, and here again this one is what? So as these are cancelled out, H1N delta H by 2 minus H1N delta H by 2 minus H2N delta H by 2 minus H2N delta H by 2 plus H2N delta H by 2 are cancelled out. Remaining parameters are what? First one is H1T into delta W, and another one is what? H2T into delta W, and here we can take delta W as common. Of course, it is what? It is not 0. It should be equal to what? I. It is what? I. Here also I, and here also I, and whereas this one is what? Sorry, it is E1T. It is E1T in the previous case. Please correct it. E1T. So that's why it is what? H1T minus H2T delta W. Send this delta W to this side. We can write I by delta W. I by delta W. That is what? Amps per meter. Amps per meter is nothing but what? So we have one parameter we defined, that is surface current. So that equal to what? Delta W is equal to H1T minus H2T equal to what? I by delta W is nothing but K. From this, jump to this place. Okay, this arrow. Okay, what is the conclusion? We have H1T minus H2T, H1T minus H2T equal to K. H1T minus H2T equal to K. Let us take this as equation 1. Means what? Tangential components of magnetic field, that is H field means magnetic field. Tangential components of electric field intensity are continuous or discontinuous. Continuous means they are equal on both sides, but on there exists some difference, that is H1T minus H2T equal to K. Means what? They are discontinuous across the boundary by an amount of K, by an amount of surface current K, by an amount of K, that is surface current. Okay. So this is one special case, and we can go for what? H1T minus H2T equal to K. If the boundary is free of current, we can take a special case. If the boundary is free of current, if boundary is free of current, if boundary is free of current, if boundary is free of current, that is what? That is K equal to 0, then H1T minus H2T equal to 0. It implies H1T is equal to H2T. H1T is equal to H2T. Means what? This is equation B. Okay. Means what? Tangential components of magnetic field intensity are continuous across the boundary if the boundary is free of current. If the boundary is free of current. From this we can write in terms of B's, that is H can be written as what? In terms of B. B equal to mu into H means H equal to B by mu, means we can write B1T by mu1 is equal to B2T by mu2. So this implies what? B1T is not equal to B2T. Means what? Tangential components of magnetic flux density are discontinuous across the boundary even if the boundary is free of current. Okay, this is about what? This part is related to what? Tangential boundary conditions. We are started here, that is equation 1, equation 2, equation 3. In order to derive the magnetic field boundary conditions, we need to use these three equations. Let us apply equation 1 for this closed path. So after application we got h1t minus h2t equal to what? I will write this one clearly, that is h1t minus h2t is equal to k, is equal to k, I by delta w. Okay, and after this move to here, that is what? h1t minus h2t equal to k. It says that what? Tangential components of magnetic field intensity are discontinuous by an amount of k at the boundary. If the boundary is free of current, means k equal to 0. In that case, h1t minus h2t equal to 0. That implies what? h1t equal to h2t. It indicates what? Tangential components of magnetic field intensity are continuous across the boundary if the boundary is free of current, whereas the tangential components of magnetic flux density are discontinuous across the boundary. Since here we can write B equal to what? Mu into H, B equal to what? Mu into H, or else H equal to what? B by mu. From that we can write h1t as what? B1t by mu1, and h2t can be written as what? B2t by mu t. T indicates what? Tangential components. Now let us move to what? Normal boundary conditions for the dielectric interface. Here first dielectric is characterized by mu1 and second dielectric is characterized by mu2. In this case, in order to derive the normal boundary conditions, apply equation 2 to the fill box as shown in above figure. To derive normal boundary conditions, apply equation 2. What is equation 2? That is integral b dot ds equal to 0, that is closed surface integral of b equal to 0. So that is the equation, means what? We need to take this one, d dot ds should be replaced with what? B dot ds, that equal to what? In the previous case it is non-zero, here we have to take the 0. So here there exists side, this value is 0 due to the side surfaces, whereas there is a contribution for the top and bottom. So that's why integral b dot ds. For the top we have the field component. Here electric flux density should be replaced with what? Magnetic flux density. d1 becomes b1 and it is b1t, and this one is what? b1n. And here also this should be replaced with what? b2, and here it is what? b2t, and this one is what? b2n. Okay, now here d should be replaced with what? B dot ds, and here B dot ds, it is equal to what? 0. Why it is 0? So integral b dot ds equal to 0. And for the coming to the top, we have the field component. For the top we have the field component is what? b1n. So d1n should be replaced with what? b1n delta s. And here for the bottom we have the field component, that is b2n, and differential surface area normal to this one, as it is bottom we have the negative. That means what? If it is positive delta s az, it is delta s into minus az. So that's why b2n, so this is b1n, and here we need to replace this one what? b2n delta s. So that equal to what? Finally it is 0, and after this we will get what? b1n minus b2n is equal to 0. We can take delta s as common, so that is b1n minus delta n equal to 0. Finally what we have? b1n equal to b2n, means what? Normal components of magnetic flux density are continuous. Normal components of B means magnetic flux density are continuous across the boundary, are continuous across the boundary, across the boundary. That means what? If you see the magnetic flux density on either sides of the boundary, means for the first medium or second medium it is same. Okay, that is b1n equal to b2n. And from this we can write, after this move to where? So here, so after this go here. Okay, no need to consider that part, that is free of charge. We have what? b1n equal to b2n, b1n equal to b2n. I will write clearly here. So it implies what? h1 b1n means mu1 into h1n, mu2 into h2n. It indicates what? It implies h1n is not equal to h2n. Means what? Normal components of H normal components of H are discontinuous across the boundary. They are different. They are different in the two different media. They are discontinuous across boundary. Across the boundary. So this is all about the magnetic field boundary conditions. Simply what we have done, E is replaced with H, that is integral E dot dl becomes what, integral H dot dl, but integral H dot dl equal to what, I enclosed, that is the Ampere's law. Of course it is Maxwell's equation, one of Maxwell's equation, and it is integral B dot ds equal to 0. We need to use these three equations. Let us apply equation 1 to derive tangential boundary conditions. After application of that equation and after simplification, we got H1t minus H2t equal to k, that is what, H1t minus H2t equal to k. Okay, we can take H1t minus H2t equal to k if field is directed from 2 to 1. If field is directed from 1 to 2, it is one of the assumption. Basically we assumed what, field direction is from 2 to 1. In that case we have H1t minus H2t equal to k. Otherwise, if field direction is, if you assume field direction is from 1 to 2, in that case H2t minus H1t equal to k. Okay, if the boundary is, let us take another assumption, if the boundary is free of current, means what, if there is no current, that is I, then surface current is also 0, so that is k equal to 0. In that case, this equation becomes what, H1t minus H2t equal to 0, that is H1t equal to H2t. From this we can say what, tangential components of magnetic field intensity are continuous across the boundary, and from this we can write H1t is what, B equal to mu into H, means H equal to B by mu, so that's why H1t can be written as what, B1t by mu 1, and H2t can be written as B2t by mu 2. So then it indicates what, B1t is not equal to B2t, means tangential components of magnetic flux density are discontinuous across the boundary. Now go for normal components of, so here please make it as normal components of H field, normal components of magnetic field intensity. Okay, normal, let us go for this one, normal boundary conditions for the magnetic field for dielectric interface, means first medium is dielectric, second medium is also dielectric. First medium is characterized by mu 1, second medium is characterized by mu 2. Let us consider B1 is existed in the first medium, B2 is existed in the second medium, like this, and this B is splitted as what, tangential component and a normal component. That means B is decomposed into two orthogonal components, one is tangential and another one is normal. B2 is also same. Now let us apply equation 2, this equation 2 for this field box. If you apply this equation 2 for the field box, this one, that means due to side surfaces it becomes 0, that means integral B dot ds equal to 0, but there exists some non-zero quantity for the top and bottom, so that's why we need to take that one, that closed surface integral as open surface integral of B dot ds for the top and for the bottom, like this, and it is equal to what, 0. And as it is top, we have, it is in the first medium, field component is what, B1n, so that is B1n delta s, and for the bottom we have the field component, that is B2n. This negative sign is due to what, this differential surface area is normal. Suppose let us take, this is positive az direction, it should be negative az direction, that's why like this, B1n minus B2n equal to 0. Finally we got B1n equal to B2n. It indicates what, normal components of B are continuous across the boundary. And from this we can write B1n equal to B2n, that is mu1 H1n equal to mu2 H2n. That indicates what, H1n is not equal to H2n. It says that what, normal components of H are discontinuous across the boundary. Now we can conclude, or else we can write all the boundary conditions at one place for the magnetic field, that is H1t minus H2t, H1t minus H2t equal to k. Okay, if there exists a surface current, H1t is equal to H2t if k equal to 0, that means if the boundary is free of charge, and B1n equal to B2n, it is always true, there is no requirement of special condition. Okay, these are the boundary conditions for the magnetic field. And what about the boundary conditions for the electric field? Previously we derived, that is E1t equal to E2t, and D1n minus D2n equal to rho s, and another one is what, D1n equal to D2n if rho s equal to 0, if rho s equal to 0. These are the electric field boundary conditions, these are the electric field boundary conditions, these are the magnetic field boundary conditions. Now What is the advantage of these boundary conditions? That means what? If you know electric field intensity in the first medium, means if you know the tangential component in the first medium, indirectly we have what? Electric field intensity in the second medium. Means what? By using boundary conditions, we can determine the field component on the field component for the second medium if you know the field component in the first medium. Means what? If you know the either side of the field component, we can determine the other side of the field components by using boundary conditions. This is all about the boundary conditions. Please watch before video, that means before watching this video, please watch video, that is what? Boundary conditions for the electric field. If you see these two videos, then only you will get the better clarity on the boundary conditions. Okay, so this is all about boundary conditions for magnetic field and electric field. We will meet in next class.